We've got a change of distance. Yeah.
Brett, so what's the starting lineup going to look like tonight? You obviously have a couple guys that are out for precautionary reasons.
We'll go with Jay Rich at point. We'll go with Matisse and Ferk at 2 and 3. Start Tobias at a 4, and start Joel at a 5.
Well, you had earlier said that you'd like to get Jay Rich at the point, but maybe not till later in the season. Is it just anything he's done change your mind on that, or?
I think, and it's true, that I did say that. And I felt like as things have unfolded, that this is the time for me to try things. You know, the preseason is the time to try things and learn. And, you know, I've never really been gun shy about trying things. And sometimes they haven't worked out so well. Sometimes you trip on something. And that was the sort of, you know, mindset of we might as well try to do it now. And I actually thought he was really good the last game playing point guard. So we're going to look at it again. And, you know, I'll probably come in with Trey before Haul initially and give him an opportunity. And you can see how I've been spinning around the wings. And so I'm excited to give Jay Rich the ball and see what it looks like again.
When you look at Jay Rich, 3 different games. The first game he was 3 for 5 on 3, so he displayed that. The second game he had 3 blocks. The third game he had 5 steals. So I mean, you know, he's averaging 15.7, but he's just in each game he's showing something different, you know, something distinct. And can you just talk about the versatility that he has?
I mean, you just said it, and it's all true. And he plays with a charisma. He plays with a personality. He's got a bounce. And you know, when you start looking at people trying to screen him, he is incredibly elusive. Bruce Bowen was like that. You just couldn't screen him. Gary Payton back in the day was hard to screen. And it's actually one of those things that I don't think is talked about very much is people that are screenable is not a compliment, right? People that are hard to screen, elusive, getting around screens, it's a really big compliment. And pick and roll is such a big part of the NBA. Defensively, it stands out to me where he can maneuver through things, slivers, cracks, whatever. And then he got a bounce. Like offensively, he got a bounce. He can make a shot. He can find Joe on a lob. He's actually got a point guard instinct that I saw even more pronounced when I gave him the ball the last game. And then, you know, you come back to the bench in the locker room, and he's good people. It's a powerful package. I said it before, I'll say it again. Philadelphia is going to love him. He is so built for Philly. He plays hard. He's got no back down. He's got swagger. I just think he's just a really important piece to what we're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Has Matisse impressed you beyond what you would have expected so far?
For sure. And I think what it is more than anything is when you get a 4-year college guy versus, you know, all of them, Markel, Zaire, whatever, like it does stand out. You just see it. There's an expedited growth that is reflected in his birth certificate. And Matisse does things instinctively defensively that are unusual for a rookie. I think that he can cover for a mistake. We talk a lot about appropriate and inappropriate help. I label him a thief. And so you can be a responsible thief and make plays, or just this wild, reckless thief that is going to haunt us. And I would prefer the starting point to be reckless, believe it or not, and let's coach it and polish it and all that. And I have learned with him, he can make up for a reckless mistake, an inappropriate gamble, and still get back to where he should have been. He's got ability to stalk balls down and transition defense and get to places, and he just is ahead of the sort of learning curve defensively as it relates to most rookies that I have coached.
So, but I know you have some guys out tonight. Is this start for Matisse? Is that something that he's earned, or is this something that you're looking just to try something? I mean, has he earned this opportunity to start tonight?
There wasn't much in my mind like preordained when I came in. For sure, I had some set opinions, but I also believe, and I feel like I can look at you all and feel like I've lived it, an open-mindedness to, look at some different stuff. And Matisse, like, there's no marching orders from front offices to me. There's no preordained thought process that I had prior to coming into camp. I've said to them, I've said to you, the gym will speak. They will tell me. And so far he has spoken loudly. And for that reason, he's earned the right to play and play a little bit more. And right now he's in a pretty good place as it relates to my praise for him and where I think he can help this team.
Anything specific you want to see from Joel this final week, getting ready for the regular season opener?
I mean, it's a few things. The first and foremost by a mile is growing his conditioning, and I think he's been great. Like, I really think that he's been so prideful on doing extra work. His body looks good, getting his cardio at a rate that he can just go up and down. And that's one. Two, I think defensively, where we recognize we have Joel Embiid, and it's more of a team thing than a Joel thing, that we have to react to Joel. There are sometimes he's gonna go make plays, and we're gonna let him go make plays, and we have to react, and so that's probably more of a defensive team thing, but it's Joe, go make plays and have the freedom to do it. And then offensively, it's all about rolling. It's all about deep catches. It's all about the paint. And those three things are my compass for myself, and things that I relate to him. And we hope to see all of that happen tonight.
Brett, in regards to, you said the gym speaks. Like, what is it saying about the backup point guard position?
It says exactly what you would expect me to say. It's up in the air. Like, you got Shake has come in and played some. You've seen Trey and Rahul. You've seen Jay Rich come in and be more than serviceable, like pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. And so at some point, I'll make a decision. It won't be declared to this room or even to the team for a while. We got tonight, and then Friday night, and I feel like at that point, I'll make a decision. I know at that point I'll make a decision, and roll with it.
Brett, 2 years ago, you guys saw Al in a playoff series, and there were games in that series where he scored 20 points and made impacts that way. There were games where he scored 10 and totally controlled the game. He'll probably do more of the latter, I would imagine, this year for you guys. Why is he so good at being able to touch the game when he's not scoring?
Yeah,
it's hard for guys.
He is as fundamentally prideful in situations where there's no media, there's no crowd. It's at 10 in the morning in a high school gym at shoot-around, and you see him sitting in a stance. You see him with his thumbs to his ears on the backside of defenses and talking. You see him purposefully and pridefully go, like, set a fundamentally correct screen. And he's just a professional. He's really a pro. And that is so priceless as it relates more to, like, his teammates, seeing this person with his resume and experience take a 10 a.m. thing in a junior high gym and pretend like, we're about to go play game 7. I think that isn't 20 points and 15 rebounds, but it's a lot. And I think that example that I just shared is my most immediate, like, praise for him on why I think at this stage he kind of is most valuable.
You talked about the second unit, how they've been aggressive defensively. Is there anything personnel-wise besides Matisse why you'd want to do that with those guys?
You mean to, like, wind them up?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that they can. Now, I know that sounds quite vanilla, but it's like Then I think that's maybe the most important thing that a coach does is how do you put guys in a position where they can really utilize their strengths. And I think that I'll call it a wrecking ball, a bomb squad. I think that other group, there is an athleticism and a length that can be a little bit different. To try to play conservative with that type of athlete and length doesn't make sense to me. Now, there will be a point where it might get a little bit too risky or reckless, but my simple answer is because they can. I don't feel like I'm taking 5'10" slow guys and making them be aggressive. I think I'm putting those guys in a chance where they really have a chance to be successful.
How comforting or maybe exciting is it to feel so comfortable moving Tobias into that 4 spot and seeing him have that versatility to really hold down the 3 and the 4?
And I think you can go to a lot of places and say similarly that they have a versatile sort of benefit to the team. Tobias might be the most obvious in profile, but I think that's the situation that Elton Brand and his front office have created for me. Like we're pliable. We can do some different things, and I've said to the team and you, like I don't feel a prisoner to having to go pick an example. Like you have to go with traditional lineups. I think that I can move people around based on who we're playing and based on who's playing the best. And for instance, use Kyle O'Quinn. Maybe he's playing that well that I don't always, and I did have in my mind, like you're going to have Al Horford be Joel's backup 5, and that's that position, sold, which is pretty good. Maybe Al can play a little bit more 4 and Kyle can slide in because maybe one of the wings aren't playing at the standard that I want them to. Or maybe it's just what I call horses for courses. Who are we playing tonight? We match up better this way. And I just think that the scope of the team, the dynamics of the team, the way Elton has brought it in is similar to what you just said about Tobias. I do think that we have a versatility that I can tap into.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you.